Should I rent or should I buy? This is an age-old question that's been around probably since the beginning of real estate. Question we run into quite a bit with our clients. So I want to talk to you about what the big picture looks like. So let's get right into it. So let's paint the picture 5 years down the line and what that looks like if you purchase today a home of 450,000. So after 5 years, that principal is 379,000. So you gain $71,000 worth of equity without appreciation at all. So if and when rates drop to 5.5%, you can refi and save 280 just off that alone. And then once equity reaches 20%, you can take off the PMI, which will save you another $200, bringing you almost $500 off the payment. And appreciation tends to follow the rate of inflation, which was 4% in May. Your home that you bought for $450,000 could potentially be worth $547,500 in just 5 years. And you have all that equity, money you can pull cash out for pay down debts, do any renovations to the home, use that to buy another property, perhaps an investment. We can talk more about that on how to leverage, but I just want to share and paint the picture of what that looks like if you bought a home today, what it looks like in 5 years. The cost of waiting is truly more than any interest rates today. I'm sure you've seen online that home just go out of reach, and you just wait for it to come down and it just doesn't. So speaking of out of reach, I hate to say it, but here's what the chart that looks like for the median asking price of rent since 1988. As you can see, it's quite the ski slope in the upward direction. And I'm sure you know it already. That's where rent tends to go. The cost of living keeps going up and up, especially with the massive demand we have for housing here in Phoenix. I've seen on Facebook, sadly, people saying that they had to move because their rent was increased $500, $700. That's quite a bit. And that security of knowing that your mortgage is not going to change. No one can come in and say, hey, you know what? You're going to pay more for your house just because I said so. And that is pretty nice feeling, to be honest. When my wife and we first bought our first home, that was one of the greatest things that I felt, was just knowing the fact that nobody can come in and change the price on me. And it was such a secure feeling. And that's why I'm a big believer in the power of purchasing, because like I briefly mentioned, you can use your own asset to buy more for an investment, to pay off debts, pay off cars, kind of just pay yourself. There's a lot you can do with real estate as your leverage. The world is truly your oyster. When you rent, you're just paying that leverage for somebody else, paying someone else's mortgage down, giving them more equity. I know rates are not the greatest, but the cost of waiting is much more, because when we had low rates, we had high prices. And now that we have high rates, we're seeing those deals. We're seeing sellers being a little bit more willing to work with you, because the market is cooling off due to rates and seasonality. So it's a really good opportunity to take advantage of that for you as a buyer. And I hope I can make you one. Thank you.